And good morning. It is 24 minutes after 8 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning from Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell, Vicky Thomas back with us. Been a little bit, but she's been back with us. Good morning. How you doing, Vicky?
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you know what? I think the last time we talked to you was pre-COVID on the radio here.
I think it was pre-COVID.
So it's been a few years.
Mm-hmm. So it's always nice to see my Leadership Roswell alumni.
Yeah, that's right. Vicky and I were in Leadership Roswell together here a few years ago, and I'm sure she will attest like I do. It's an amazing program.
Absolutely.
And by the way, they are taking applications for the new class.
Oh, good.
End of July. You've got your deadline to turn those in is July 31st. So you got a little time, but get that done, and maybe you can be a part of the 2022 class, which, like I said, Vicky and I both are alumni of, and I know I can say, and I'm sure you can say the same thing, is
absolutely
you gained a lot from that that year-long course, I think.
It pays you even after it's over.
Absolutely.
Valuable contacts in the community and your cohort.
Absolutely, which... I don't know. It may have found out why they put Vicky to work so busy over the last 3 years. They said, wow, she did good in that Leadership Roswell. Let's see how many other things we can give her to do. So
yeah.
I'm kidding, but she has been a busy lady over the last couple of years here. So, but well, first off, before we talk about early kids college and all that, the kids college and all this stuff, let's want to remind people that the pool's now open. So
the pool is open.
If you want to go to the pool, you can go online, see the pool hours, and then I'm not sure if there's any because I know they would. If you want to book for the parties and things like that.
It is available for parties
as well.
I know
you have to book pretty far in advance, so I don't know availabilities right now, but check with them. They can talk all about that stuff. But I figure while we had you here, might as well plug some of the other things going on with the ENMU-R right now,
Absolutely. It's
too.
a busy place.
Absolutely. Even though it's technically summer where it's slightly slower than it normally is, although summer classes are underway, like the pool's going, everything. So they're pretty busy out at the campus, even though it is technically off season. Sort of.
I'm not sure we ever actually get an off season.
You won't even call it that. But yeah, of course, they just had Scrubs Camp too here.
We did highly successful. We had 107 students come for Scrubs Camp.
Good. So if you missed out, mark it for your calendars for next summer. They've been doing this. Well, they had to take a little bit of a break with COVID.
This was our third year.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to doing it again next year.
Yeah, I think, it's been about 5 years. And I think you missed 1 or 2 years because of COVID.
We missed 2 because of COVID.
And then you had last year's, I think, or at least a version of it last year, if I remember right.
No, we weren't able to do anything last summer, so we were excited to be able to do it this summer.
Okay.
And we had
I was thinking like there was kind of a
attendance.
scaled-back version 1 year in there somewhere.
Well, we tried to do it, but then we had the governor's orders.
Logistics shut it down.
Yeah,
gotcha.
that we just weren't able
That's
to
what
do
it was.
it,
I was like, I seem to remember like there was a smaller version at some point there, but again, another great. And that's great because and if you missed it, don't hesitate to reach out to the campus if you want. They're not going to recreate Scrubs Camp for you, but if you want to learn about all the different areas of medical studies, from nursing to your phlebotomy, I can never say that right, to X-ray and tech, all those skilled positions in the medical field that ENMU offer as for training and stuff, you can learn all about that. Scrubs Camp is kind of a great way to showcase all of that because it goes from the EMS side to where the first responders are the first ones to see you, all the way through the process to the hospital. To it almost shows the gamut of a person's journey from accident to being back on their feet in that whole time, and through it shows all the different programs ENMU-R offer as a thing. So, but it's done reenacted, so you get to see like the ambulance pull up and there's the accident and all. It's really cool, and the kids love it, and everybody. It really gives them a chance to see what's available out there. So, if you missed it for this year, get on the calendar for next year. Your kids for we'll talk about it, but it is a great program.
It's a great program. This year we had a pedestrian with accident with a motor vehicle.
Okay,
was our scenario, and the ambulance came and the fire trucks, and we had the helicopter there that carted the patient away and then brought them back where we had an ICU.
That's really cool.
Set up. And
that's great. You're able to coordinate with like the medevac folks and all that. Because in case you haven't noticed, ENMU-R doesn't have helicopters that are on flying status laying around.
Right.
Might be 1 or 2 to work on in the air side there, but it certainly is not going flying anytime soon.
No.
Yeah, I know from my military time, the trainers those planes that they tear apart and put back together, those don't fly anymore. Those are strictly to teach mechanics how to tear down and build airplane engines and all that kind of stuff.
I know we always marvel because the minute we put that in the hangar, whatever piece of plane, helicopter, whatever, they always say, yeah, now it can never fly again.
Yeah,
and that's just the rule.
Sure.
You know?
Well, but it's a training environment.
It's a training environment.
You think that's expensive? I went to military tech school, and they have F-16s and stuff in there.
Wow.
So, yeah, they don't fly those either. And those jets are probably a little bit more pricey than that one sitting in the... Yeah, they don't cut you deals on those jets. There's no sale or anything. So.
No.
But anyway, those have happened, and those are, of course. If by the way, if they are registering for fall classes right now, so if you want to learn more about welding or the airplane mechanics, please go to roswell.enmu.edu, look at the course schedule, make an appointment. Now's a great time to talk to advisors. I know a lot of them are off campus, but they've got some people there around that can help you with all that stuff. And get registered for the fall. You can do all that right now. But for the younger kids, we got all kinds of stuff going on here. Talk a little bit about this.
Yeah, we have a couple of opportunities. We have 2 more camps coming up this summer.
Good deal.
So the first one we're going to have is called Art Fest Camp.
Yes, and that's coming up here in just a couple weeks, right?
July 18th.
Yeah. Oh, that's a little farther than I thought.
Yeah, but the registration deadline is July 1st.
Okay, so you got about 2-3 weeks to get that done.
The deadline's coming real quick for that one. It's going to be a really fun camp. Our art instructor has put it together.
Good.
She has a lot of student helpers who are going to come in and help her. It's broken up into age groups.
Okay.
The kindergarten through 5th graders will come in the mornings. And then in the afternoons, they'll clean everything up, reset. And then in the afternoons, we're going to have the 6th through 12th graders.
Okay, so basically elementary in the morning, middle and high in the afternoon.
In the afternoon.
And obviously the projects reflect the skill or age groups a little bit more. So obviously the kindergarten through 5th grade, they're going to be working on projects that are appropriate to that age level. They'll get a little bit more advanced with the middle and high school as far as those projects. Arts that more appealing to them and things like that.
Correct. And it's a whole gamut of art that they're going to be doing. There's some painting that's going on. They'll be working with clay and the glazes and putting the pieces in the kiln. And
that's a lot of fun.
It's going to expose them to a lot of different types of art. So, something may spark your interest that you haven't had a chance to dabble in yet.
Parents, if I can make just a suggestion, giving your kids a chance, because like I said, it gives them an opportunity to expose them to other forms of art that may not be readily available at home. We all probably have some markers or some, where you can do that. But like, I will tell you, like when I was in high school, I took art classes, and I'm one of those people that I've got a creative gene. Like my mom was kind of an artist, drawing hand. She was loved. So I've got that in my DNA. But I'm not necessarily. I haven't honed it or have the patience necessarily to do some of those things. But I will remember when I was in high school, I took a ceramics class.
Oh yeah.
And I found out that my head was much more in that area, like drawing and stuff. I wasn't so good. But first time I got on the potter's wheel, I made something that wasn't an embarrassment, and I was kind of like, people are like, what do you mean? That looks like a pot. Like it's even. And you know what I mean? It didn't look like that thing that, the first time you get on a potter's wheel that, whoa, what happened there?
It's all crooked.
Yeah. It's like, why is it 2 inches thick over here and you can see through it over here? All that. Yeah, none of that. It was like, wow. Matter of fact, I've got 2 things I made in high school that are still sitting in my house as a kid. So I kind of excelled at that when I didn't. And so what I'm trying to tell parents is maybe, even though if your kid maybe doesn't excel at drawing or painting, this will give them a chance to find those other maybe they all of a sudden they're ceramics wizards or they're glaze, or maybe they find out they're good at, who knows, some other medium. We're going to do a lot of stuff
that's tactile.
Yeah, tactile
stuff. We're using some textiles and a whole variety. Boy, the art instructor's been on a real big shopping spree.
Good. So
the boxes are coming in.
But please maybe it'll find your niche for your kid, that all of a sudden they find the spark that says, this is what I want to do. And even if, maybe they're not pursuing careers, but guess what? for the rest of their life, they may be in there doing ceramics or something. They may be that they found their escape,
their hobby.
Yeah,
you know?
their getaway from life. When everything happens, they go to their room and get on the potter's wheel and start making amazing vases and dishes and what have you back there.
Your future Mother's Day present.
Exactly, But this is how they find out these things. It's always at a camp they did at the summer at the college or something like that. So sign your kids up for this camp, and who knows, you may have just found their life's passion. You never know. It's and if not, then you move on and see what else sticks. That's the great thing about these camps. You sign up, they're very cheap or free, depending on the camps and things.
This particular camp is $100.
$100, okay.
And that covers everything. It includes all the supplies and materials that your student will need.
Good deal.
For the whole summer, as well, or for the whole camp, as well as a snack.
Good deal. And like I said, it starts July 18th?
July 18th. It runs for 1 week.
Okay.
And the sessions are 9 to 12 in the morning and 2 to 5 in the afternoon.
But you must have your child registered by July 1. So.
Correct. That is our registration deadline, so that we can make sure that we're completely prepared and, we have all the supplies and materials set up and everything's ready to go.
We do live in the COVID world still,
yes.
and where they could probably easily get modeling clay, it probably has to take a little longer, cost a little more. It costs, those logistics take a little longer now. So we can't be as land of manana in our signups right now. If July 1's the deadline, we got to make it that way, because July 2, we've got to get that information for the final counts for supply and material and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's really, we would love to say, yeah, sure, wait till the 17th, no problem, but logistically they can't pull that off.
Yeah, we just can't. But we're excited. It's fun to have people back on campus. It's exciting to see little kiddos running around and just their eyes so big and full of excitement and just taking it all in.
And then you could, maybe if you play your cards right and work it, maybe they, during that week, the kids do the camp and stuff. And then if you got time, it's like, all right, well, let's go to the pool afterwards.
Exactly.
And, not that, it's, hey, we're all out on the campus right now. Let's go ahead and do the fun, the art camp. And then right after that, we'll go swimming for an hour or so. And then, go home for dinner or whatever.
You can hit the cafeteria for lunch and then go to the pool.
Exactly. By the way, they got pretty good food over there, too. If you haven't eaten their burritos.
I just ate lunch there yesterday.
Yeah, yeah. And if you get there early enough for breakfast, those breakfast burritos are pretty tasty, too.
Yes.
Good deal. So that's coming up July 18th.
Correct.
I know there's some other camps and stuff, too.
The following week, we're going to have what we call Kids College.
Okay. And that's kind of what we were talking a little bit more about.
Yeah. Here. And so that week, we're going to have 5 different sessions going on. Kids is in the ages of 4 to 12.
Okay.
And 4 of the 5 sessions are Lego-based.
Oh, okay.
They're all STEM concepts.
Okay.
But they're Lego-based with very complicated Lego sets. They're Lego sets that aren't available.
Okay. So not like the ones you can buy on the toy store shelves or anything. Okay,
no, these are educational sets, and so they're very elaborate and complicated. So you can guarantee these kids
never built these models before.
They haven't seen these.
Cool.
Even the biggest Lego fanatics, I think this will be new.
Okay, cool.
For them. The thing that we do want kids to know is, though, that the Legos stay in the classroom. They don't get to take them home. We don't want any kiddo to be disappointed that they're not going to get to take them home with them.
Well, we will. You make your projects, and then through the medium of pictures, we can save your artwork,
and we will,
for all of eternity to display proudly. But you can't keep the Lego model because they need the Legos for the next year's class.
For the next class, exactly. Exactly. And if you take them home on Monday, then we wouldn't have anything to play with on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday.
And just for confirmation, you have to be a kid to sign up. I know a lot of adults love their Legos too.
We're going to keep this just for the kiddos.
You got to be 4 to 12 there to qualify for this camp. So.
But that brings up a good point. I'm putting together some classes, community education classes for the fall.
Okay.
And things like yoga and some piano classes, guitar classes, those kind of things. But I've had a lot of adults call about the Lego classes. So we may put something together for adult Legos so we can all play and relieve our stress.
I know the Roswell Public Library, like once a month they'll do like a Lego night, and basically they'll have, they usually do like a challenge, like say, hey, can recreate this in 10 minutes or something, and you can participate in that or not. But generally they just pour the Lego out and let parents and their kids just make projects together playing Legos. And I think the parents dig it as much, if not more, as the kids do. You know, it's like the parents like, come on, Johnny, you ready to go to the Legos? You know, and the kid's like, I want to watch the. No, come on, we're doing Legos. You know, so you might hit onto something if you do like an adult Lego class or something.
Quite a few parents ask, "Can I stay with my child?"
Yeah.
You know, like, no, but I'm working on something for the fall for the adults. So.
I'm telling you, put pizza and Legos in a room, you can draw the world.
That's all it takes.
You want to have a successful meeting? Put some Legos and some pizza in there, and everybody will come.
I'm going to try that at my next meeting.
I'm telling you, there's something to it. It's pizza and Legos. I'll see you there. But yeah, it's a really cool kids camp that they get the chance to kind of, and like you said, it kind of taps into probably more of the STEAM, where it's the science and engineering, but with the Legos and all, there's that the art part.
The art part.
That's part of it. So it's more STEAM than STEM.
Correct.
Good deal.
Correct. And then the 5th class that we're going to offer is not Lego-based. It's called Survival Tactics.
Okay.
And it's for kids who really enjoy being outdoors, playing outdoors, being
learning
outdoors.
like...
and so they're going to learn things like building a fire and getting water and shelter and those kind of things.
Perfect.
So I had a lot of interest in that class. We must have a lot of future campers.
Well, but say if if the kids send your kids to this camp, and if they kind of turns out they have a hankering for this, then you could start showing them the scouting programs available and get them exposed to more camping and things where they'll get them more depth than that. But I love that because I don't care. We all live in New Mexico, and yeah, we live in Roswell or whatever, and we got our little communities, but we live in the middle of nowhere. You got to go 3 hours to find other civilizations, things. We live in a rural world. And let's face it, there may come a time in your life where you maybe up north driving or something, and God forbid, your vehicle gets knocked off the road and you get in a remote area and you're on your own for hours, days.
Yeah.
I mean, we've heard stories of a week or so, a woman or a man's been stuck in there before sort of somebody finds them. And these skill sets might be the ones that are the difference between they find you alive and they don't find you alive. So, I know we're talking kids and all that, but just in a fun, friendly way now, you're showing these kids how to make a fire.
Their lifetime skills.
Or they need to make a shelter to stay in the night, or maybe even like plant identification or water sources, how to find water sources, how to start a fire with wet wood, and all the stuff I learned in Scouts. This is the kind of stuff that these could be handy skill sets. Even if you don't go camping, we live in New Mexico. We live in rural areas. There might be a scenario where you're stuck out in the middle of nowhere for whatever reason, and you're going to have to be on your own for something. And, they always say have your little kits with water and stuff, but you might need more than that. If you get, like... And I wish I was talking like this is a fantasy, but almost every year we hear a story, especially in the wintertime, up in the north in the mountains, somebody skids off the road and breaks through a guardrail, and they're not seen for days on end. And I mean, it seems like every year there's one of those stories where somebody's been stuck in there. And fortunately, most of them are all survived, thank God. But it's the skill set of living on your own and understanding, hey, I need to be self-reliant. I can't solve all my needs from an app on my phone. I need to, you know what I mean?
Right. Absolutely.
So I think it's a great camp, a great way to teach. But if you do find that your kid really loves this stuff, then maybe
future training opportunities,
scouting and or various things like that, and get them to nurture that. And who knows, they might be that outdoor backpacker kind that they're doing this stuff, when they're retired or, in their hobbies.
Could be a future career.
Absolutely. So,
and these classes are 2 hours at a time.
And what's the cost on these camps?
These are only $30.
$30 for the week-long camp.
For the week-long 2-hour sessions.
Now, is it the same age group for the survival camp as it is for the...
the survival camp is ages 7 to 12.
Okay, so a little bit older.
It's a little bit older.
Okay.
But there are different groupings for kids ages 4 through 12.
Okay.
And kids can attend more than one session.
Oh, good. Okay.
If you would like, I've had parents sign their kids up actually for as many as 3 sessions.
Okay.
Just they don't, as long as they don't overlap.
Yeah.
We're good with it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, parents in this day and age, the more things you can teach your kids to be self-reliant, able to take care of their own needs, the better you're preparing them for the future.
For the future.
I know we live in a world where we tend to go the opposite direction of that, but things break down, the world happens, things sometimes don't go as advertised, and your child will have a plan when that happens, as opposed to, what do I do now? I don't know. And then you have to.
Oh, my phone doesn't work.
Exactly. And I'm not gonna. If you have like children with like confidence, self-esteem issues, these are the kind of skill sets that kind of add to that. So when they experience and do more things, they're going to find themselves a little bit more confident, a little bit more now that they've got experience with this stuff, and you start seeing the shy, less confident kids start being a little bit more confident and trusting in of their skills and things like that, and that comes out in their social and everything else they do.
Absolutely. So. And we have skilled educators who have been vetted and they're bonded and licensed, who'll be teaching all of our camps.
Good deal.
This summer.
So they know what they're doing. It's not.
They know what they're doing.
Not some guy that watched Les Strout videos or Survivor Man or whatever. Said, "All right, let's teach them on their survival."
No, we have really well qualified instructors that we.
You ever seen
with.
Napoleon Dynamite movie?
Yes.
You know, the guy with the pants with teaching taekwondo. Not that. We're not talking about that.
No.
But I got Zumba pants. All right, you're an expert. But no. But we got people that this is what they do. They know
they're well qualified and they know how to have a lot of fun.
And that's the thing is, and really those skills are fun because yes, they're telling you in case you get lost in the woods or something. But guess what? You can go fun camping in the woods and use the same skill sets. We're trying to show you why it's a good time to know this, but you don't have to necessarily save it for those scenarios. Like, you don't have to wait to learn to build a fire until you get lost in the woods. Now you can go camping and have fun and do all the fun part, and now you have these skill sets.
Go in your backyard.
Exactly. But, these are in case. You get lost and you're in the woods, and you might have to spend the night out there by yourself. Can do it with the ability to survive the next day, and that's what these classes will give them, some of those skill sets. How to buy, how to provide food, heat, water, the resources you need as a human, how to do things to make yourself easy to find. Right. When you're lost, people are looking for you. Give them clues, trail markers, all those things, clues for you to look for when you're out there to kind of point you towards civilization or things like that. Following streams. There's a lot of those things, like if you're trying to travel to get to where the people are, there's a lot of indicators, because you get turned around out there, but say, okay, here's the river. The river flows a certain way. It's going this way. Follow along the river. That's going to eventually take you to some place where there's going to be people and help. So, but that's the type of stuff you learn when you're doing this, when you do these classes and things. So it's great. Please sign. I don't care. I think you should offer an adult version of this too, to be honest, because I think there's a lot of adults that could.
It may be something that we incorporate into our fun.
Yeah.
Community education classes for adults.
Well, in the meantime, if we get enough kids trained, so when the kids go out like family weekend, and if the family gets lost, the kid can
be the hero,
be the one sharing the skill sets they learned in the class here too.
Yeah.
Let me ask, what's the best way to sign up for any of these classes? Is it through the website or?
If people just give me a call, I can take care of it for you right over the phone.
Okay, very good. What's the best number to call?
You can reach me at 575-624. 7164.
Very good.
If I'm not there, just leave me a message and I will call you back, and we'll get your children all signed up for whatever they would like.
And of course, if you don't remember that and you call the main number, the 64-7000, say, can I talk to Vicky Thomas?
I'm the only Vicky on campus, so
she's the only Vicky.
They'll get
Everyone
you to
knows her. So you can probably pull off, can I speak to Vicky? And that might be give you enough.
Yep.
But if you don't remember any of that, say, hey, I heard on the radio they were talking about the art camp and stuff. Okay, well, who do I need to talk to about that? They'll transfer you right to
They'll get you to me. Yeah.
Absolutely. Very good. But what's the deadline for signups for the wilderness camp, the survival camp?
For the kids' college classes, deadline for that is July 8th.
Very good. So
we still got about 3 more weeks for that one.
But sign up for it. Like I said, they're only $30 for the class on those.
Right.
But if you want the art class, which again, the deadline for that to sign up is July 1. That's $100 for the week-long class.
And that one is $100.
But they're going to have a bunch of take-home
includes
projects
all
and all
your materials, all your supplies, and that one does have a snack in it.
Yeah, and not to mention they're going to be taking home all this artwork that they did, and including ceramic work and paintings and drawings, and
they'll have their bedroom all decorated.
I would say they at least, depending on how big their room is, at least one wall is full of art to fill up there.
Yes.
So very good. What else do we need to promote? Do we get them all?
That's pretty much what we have left for this summer. We had 3 camps going on. We've got one that was very successful. We're looking forward to the next 2. And then we're focusing on the fall. We're putting together our community education classes.
Great. So we'll get you back in here late summer, maybe talking about some of the fall stuff for families to get involved with. Great. For the adults and the kids here.
Yeah, we're looking at having a tea party class.
Oh, nice.
Where the little girls and their moms can come and
like a little formal.
And we'll have we're gonna have a formal tea party class. Bring your doll babies.
I kind of love that because when I grew up as a kid, my grandmother was the resource for me to learn like dining etiquette. Like what forks go where, what plates, the whole, outside to in, the drinking glass, the bread plate, the salad plate, the whole formal setup. My grandmother was my elbows off the table. I mean, all of that, I don't know if you call it elocution or whatever that would fall under, but I learned all that as a kid, and that's a dying art today. I mean, yeah, in fancy circles, you still see that, but I don't think families are teaching their kids how a proper table setting is and all that stuff. So again, that's another class that I think everyone should have in their pocket. Not that you're going to do this every day, but I think just to have that knowledge in your pocket, so when that once or twice in your life when you come across that scenario where you're like, all right, why do I got 2, 3 forks here? You know exactly the protocol here. It's like, okay, that's the butter knife, that's your cutting knife, that's your salad fork, that's your meal fork, that's your dessert fork. Yeah. And that's your butter knife, that's your bread plate, that's and a lot of us like, I don't know all this, and so I think that's great that they get to learn that kind of stuff, and I think all of us should have that piece in your back pocket because you never know when that'll come in handy.
We are looking at a kids etiquette class for the fall as well, and just teach some of those little manner things and some telephone manners and
trust me, fellas, like having this skill set in your pocket, you will impress your future dates. Like when you go and you start doing some of these chivalrous or formal etiquette things that they're like, oh, this person does have a little taste. You will look that much more attractive to the partner of which you are pursuing. So, just saying, you're going to schmooze them a little bit by these moves. It'll help you. Good deal. But look for that in the fall here.
Yep, I'm working on a whole variety of things that is not even set in stone at all yet. So if there's something people are really wanting to see, give me a call. We can probably get something worked out. I'm always looking for ideas and new opportunities, new classes. So give me a call.
Well, and that's the thing. That's the great thing about Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell. It is a college for the community. And so it's here to meet and serve the needs of this community. And so it's constantly evolving and changing to meet the needs of this community. And so this is how that's done, by offering these kind of classes, offering things. Sure, if you're a student trying to get a degree and all of that, the college is there for you. But if you're just a person that's retired or living your life or whatever, and you want to take a class to, for your kids or for this, or do something that not necessarily is pursuing a degree, but just to better your life in some way, shape, or form, whether it's formally through work, getting stuff for a work promotion, or just stuff like, hey, I've always wanted to learn ceramics. I've always wanted to learn this art form, and now I get to practice it. You're not doing it for a degree per se. No. You're just doing it so you can better your own life, and that's where the college is there for you, whether you're pursuing to get ahead in a career or if you're just wanting to enrich your own life for, wisdom, knowledge, and experiences. It's there for you to do that. So reach out and do some of this stuff.
And it's important to know, too, everything that I offer through my division is non-credit. So that means you don't get graded, you don't have homework assignments, you don't have to do research papers or give talks in class. It's all non-credit.
What you put into it's what you're going to take out of it.
Exactly. And many of the classes, they meet one time and you get everything that you need.
Good deal.
Maybe some of them meet for maybe 6 weeks for a couple hours a week. They're all over the board.
And I'm sure, like with all the instructors, they're all resources. So even outside of the class schedule per se, you're working on a project, especially if it's an art-related thing or something, and you could pick that teacher's brain on, am I doing the technique right? And they're all happy to work with you to work on the technique and all that stuff.
All excited. So, they're excited for you.
Absolutely. Yeah. So reach out, sign up for some of these camps. Call Vicky direct. Give your number one more time for folks. 575-624-7164.
Very
good. And if you can't remember that, you're driving, you can call the 624-7000 main campus number direct. Just ask for Vicky Thomas. They'll take you right to her. And then you can ask about any of the camps we talked about here. Or if you have, like you said, an idea for something and you're thinking, hey, I would love to do this. I've got a following of people who would love this. Is this something we can bring to the campus? And we can set that appointment up and start that conversation with Vicky. So
great. I look forward to having my phone ringing off the hook.
There you go. Well, thank you as always. Good seeing you again.
Thank you. So nice to see you again.
And now hopefully get to see you more often now that the world is coming back out and things are happening. So good deal. And stay cool. I know that's easier said than done.
You too. Enjoy the rain.
It was nice. Hope we get some more of it.
I know. It was nice driving to work today.
It was. It was kind of like the ominous and happy at the same time. I'm like, exactly. One eyeball's looking at sun, the other's looking at dark clouds, and I'm like, it's kind of cool.
Only in New Mexico.
Only in New Mexico. Well, thank you, Vicky. We'll see you next time.
You're welcome.